Hello and welcome to this week's edition of BoI Weekly. My name is Gloria Umezuke. In 2017, the Bank of Industry commenced granting of loans to micro entrepreneurs aimed at boosting the economy, create jobs and enduring wealth. These loans were disbursed through 14 microfinance banks with branches nationwide. Micro entrepreneurs who were targeted for these loans include fashion designers, furniture makers, shoemakers, bakers, among others. With the disbursement of these loans, several entrepreneurs have taken their businesses to new frontiers as they continue to access funds from the Bank of Industry to grow their business. On this week's edition of the program, we continue our focus on the amazing successes of the Bank of Industry as the bank matches words with action in providing the enabling environment for Nigerian youths to become successful entrepreneurs. Welcome to the program. Worried about the increasing high level of youth unemployment in Nigeria, which is currently estimated at 33.3%, the Bank of Industry announced plans to establish the tech hubs to address this challenge. The bank stated it would be sponsoring tech hubs in recognition of the talented youths in universities and the need to channel youths to more productive and impactful initiatives that will create employment rather than social vices. Please take a listen as we bring you the report of the BoI Unilag Incubation and Co-working Hub opening and commissioning at the University of Lagos. In a renewed commitment aimed at matching words with action, top officials of the Bank of Industry arrived at the University of Lagos for the commissioning of the Incubation and Co-working Hub as part of the institution's Entrepreneurial and Skills Development Program. Staff and management of the university warmly welcome the BoI team led by its Managing Director, Mr. Olukayode Piton.
On behalf of our board, management and staff, I, Olukayode Piton, will want to open this place. BoI Unilag Incubation and Co-working Hub. I want to dedicate it and declare it formally open. In the name of God the Father, Amen. God the Son, Amen. God the Holy Spirit. Amen.
The Managing Director of the bank kickstarts the commissioning ceremony as he inspects the project. The center, which is fully furnished with high-tech ICT equipment and other learning tools, is located within the Faculty of Social Sciences of the university.
Area and everything inside this place is multifunctional. So this is a reception as well as a destination. So everything you see here can be moved around, can be turned around. Nothing is fixed. So by the time you come in, you went to our students, take a coffee or whatever. So this is it for anything. So everywhere, one of the things that happens is that when we speak, you hear everywhere, irrespective of the room you have, and everywhere is useful. Student can be here doing his thing because nowhere is wasted. And this place, it looks small, it seats 140 people in full capacity. This is a free area, and this place can be rearranged in 32 ways. That you come in here today, tomorrow you may think you're in another place. So it is meant to ensure the fact that you can co-create things together, you can do things together, mentors can meet, those students that want to, that have the idea, and we can all sit down in this place to ensure that we do all we like to do. And you could see that it's very colorful and it is deliberate. Life has a lot of choices. Which one do you want to see? So we tell our students, when you get into this place, this brighter color, is it the dull one that will last, whichever way it is, but you will be inspired, irrespective of what it is.
The facility is a collaborative effort between the University of Lagos and the Bank of Industry, and the idea is to ensure that all graduates of Unilag have dual capabilities, one in entrepreneurship innovation and problem solving, and the other in their professional course of study. The management of the bank believes that the project will afford students an opportunity to be exposed to practical entrepreneurship and technological skills from mentors and coaches.
This facility was brought about through the collaboration between the management of University of Lagos and BoI to run an entrepreneurship capacity development program in the University of Lagos. Through this program, every student will be exposed to practical entrepreneurship and tech startup skills from mentors and coaches that will enable them to launch their ventures before they graduate. BoI is happy to support this program because it aligns with our mission to transform Nigeria's industrial sector by providing financial and business support services so that new businesses will emerge and existing enterprises will thrive.
For the management of the school, this rare facility provides a one-stop hub for innovation and entrepreneurship development. At least 500 students are expected to register their company after going through the center.
Our vision is that by the time our students are going to graduate, at least they will have registered some companies. And our projection was that every year we want to have at least 500 companies registered. But along the line, so many things happened. The issue of pandemic came in, the issue of unnecessary tension in the university came up. But God took absolute control of everything. And our vision was not killed. Our vision was not destroyed. And today, you can see that part of our vision that we shared with the Bank of Industry is coming to reality today. This is a unique project. There is no university in this country that can boast of this. In the area of entrepreneurship, I've said it, we want to register companies for our students. And we have facility from Bank of Industry to give them the startup grant. Not a free gift, something that will be sustainable, so that if they get maximum is 2 million, they will pay back, but without interest. If you give it to if you give it to them free, they will misuse it. They will see it as rainwater. But once they know that they have to pay back, they will make sure that they spend the money judiciously.
What you have done with us today is that there is an ability for a student now to walk into this place who was clueless before, and in 2 weeks is coming out with what he can do to solve the problem of the society, and then somebody will offer value for that. Just like you said, Platter will just sold for $200 million. When did it begin? So, 16 years ago, Mark Zuckerberg was nowhere, but today he ranks among the best 500. Forbes rating multi-billionaire. What do we want to do? We want to ensure that we have this kind of facilities to create this opportunity. I will say thank you very much for supporting this. And you are going to see how we're going to use it. You will see what we're able to do with this. If you recall, sir, this has been initiated about 2 years ago. We brought in our entrepreneurial spirit because when BoI gave us this opportunity, cement was just 1,200 naira. By the time we were supposed to start doing this, it's already more than 3,000. When we were talking with Mr. Tubi, I did mention something. We will deliver this well, and you people will see that the entrepreneurial spirit, the University of Lagos, can turn this around. And that is what we have done with the support of your staff, quality staff. I say thank you very much for coming. So, as we continue, sir, we want to appeal to you that we will always come back for this kind of support for the entire nation. And I know if BoI can drive this across the nation, we'll solve the problem of youth unemployment.
Nigeria has a youth population of approximately 120 million, with 33% of that number being unemployed. Yearly, several of them leave tertiary institutions like the University of Lagos and join the already saturated labour market. This centre prepares students of this institution to be self-sufficient and much more. They can also become job creators, something the bank gives special attention to.
The main cost here will be when we have students coming up with their projects, looking for loans. This is just physical infrastructure. And like I said, when you see what is on the ground and what we give them, they have done very well. But like I said, we spend more when we now get ventures that come from the university that we are going to finance. Do we plan to go to polytechnics? Not now. It depends on the states. The state will tell us where they want, where some states might decide to be in this city of the center, city center. Some might say university, like Bayelsa say, okay, look, go to University of Africa. So they will decide. For us, it's just to put at least one hub in each state. Where it is, I think the states have a say. That also depends on how innovative they are. A center like this, like they said, like he was talking about Platter, which is one of the companies that a tech company, that was able to raise about, I think, about close to $200 million. So if you get 3 or 4 students of University of Lagos and they come up with a winning app that brings in $300-400 million, that can get a lot of people off the street. So what each center can bring depends on how creative, how innovative each center is, and the people that come there. Which is why all of this is taking place, because once people know this center exists, then even for the students, there will be more demand. And there's more demand and we need to expand it, they can come and talk to us. Because for us at Bank of Industry, job creation is very high. It's one of the priorities of the thing that we want to do. Well, I'm happy that I have that question. University of Lagos is already doing that. Like the VC said to us, very soon they will make sure that no student graduates without having, in addition to his or her degree, something on entrepreneurship. We at Bank of Industry, we are talking to Lagos Business School and a few universities to say, is there a way we can have curriculum for innovation and entrepreneurship nationwide that we can actually help them be part of that in terms of financing it, and it can be an online program so that people can add that to what they have, Yes, I agree with you. We can add more to the curriculum to let students know that when you're in university, the idea should not be, I'm going to live here and I'm looking for employment, that they themselves can be employers of labor. And any university that wants to do that, we are willing to partner with them.
Some of the students who are benefiting from the collaboration share their expectations.
We are very appreciative of the opportunity to be a part of the solution creation process, and we look forward to being empowered by the opportunities created and sponsored by this center through the Bank of Industry. Finally, I would like to thank the Vice Chancellor and the School Management Board for placing the school at such a level to attract this opportunity. Thank you.
In 2019, the Bank of Industry had unveiled 2 ICT hubs in Lagos and Bayelsa states. The idea is to engage students from tertiary institutions and develop entrepreneurial spirit. More interventions from other tertiary institutions are on the way as the Bank of Industry promises to replicate this gesture across the country. Welcome back. In our next report, we bring you the success story of Sheung Bakut's sprawling farm located in Jos South local government area of Platter State. Take a listen. Located on a 2,000 square meter land for farming and production of staple and exotic vegetables in Jos, the Plateau State capital, Nature's Platter Limited, for the past 8 years, has been in the business of farming various vegetables such as beef, plum and cherry tomatoes, sweet pepper, iceberg lettuce, seedless cucumber, as well as mixed leaf lettuce, among others. Sheon Bakut, the Chief Executive Officer of Nature's Platter, is a law graduate from the Lagos State University and had a brief stint as a practicing lawyer until she ventured into vegetable farming as a recipe for a self-fulfilling ambition in seeking alternative to the busy city life and a happy family life.
I started my sojourn into agriculture 8 years ago. I'm a lawyer, a trained lawyer by education, and I put paid to the legal profession due to various reasons. Nature's Platter received from BoI 3.8 million. At that time, we needed to expand our greenhouse, so that our greenhouse growing space, so that we can produce a lot more and also have more crops in season. And it was, the tenure was 4.5 years, about 54 months. And with a 6-month moratorium, which was just perfect for an agri company. You don't start harvesting immediately you plant. So it was just apt and timely for us. Like I said earlier, I needed an alternative to the hectic, busy city lifestyle. We used to shuttle, my husband and I, and our kids. We would, shuttle through traffic in Abuja and then eventually get back home late in the night. Kids are asleep. We leave very early in the morning, and it was just not the way to live. So we came on a visit. My in-laws live in Jos, and we came visiting them. And we went to a green farm, a farm using greenhouse technology to grow. And I was just so mesmerized and intrigued, and I just knew I could do this. I could do this, and here I am.
Her engagements with the youth group platforms exposed her and brought her in contact with the Bank of Industry. She was able to register under the Youth Empowerment Scheme for the intervention program that has transformed the business, while also adding to the number of greenhouses in the country, increase in the staff strength as well as production and capacity for the preservation of her produce. The impact of the Bank of Industry's intervention on the business is tremendous, enhancing the expansion of the market and improving services provided.
We had 4 greenhouses. We had 4 greenhouses before the intervention. And with the BoI intervention, we've been able to secure 1 more. We've also been able to secure a solar system that helps us with either our cooling of our vegetables in storage, or our pumping machine, running our pumping machine, which helps us to also have a very sustainable business and, using alternative power. Also, before the intervention, I had only 4 staff. Post-intervention, we've been able to upgrade to 6, and we have about 2 others that come in as casual workers from time to time. Our production has increased. We have more crops to market. We've been able to increase by roughly 20%, which is good for a farm. We've also had more growing space and more customer satisfaction because our availability has also, increased. We're able to continue our crop production in and out of season, using all our spaces at the same time. Yes, fresh vegetables are highly perishable, but we find out that most of our patronage comes out of the Plateau, State, essentially Lagos State. So we have to take advantage of using the airport to transport our goods. Most times, 75% of our produce goes to Lagos. The rest we sell to individuals and middlemen on the Plateau. Possibly we might export, but at the moment we want to be the #1 name, the #1 farm. With BoI, I would say have a business plan, a good and bankable business plan. Keep your records. I would advise that you have a track record. So that means you've already been in business. Make sure your records are kept, because that shows that you're doing something. Have your business plan and let it be something that you believe in, and then walk into a BoI office. After my year's training, I submitted my business plan. They asked for documents. So many people gave up along the wayside and said, I don't know somebody, I don't know. You don't have to know anybody. I didn't know anybody. And I persisted and I got it. So any entrepreneur, you persist, do the right things, follow the right processes, keep your financial records, keep your sales records, keep your business records, and walk into BoI. And they're always glad to help. That's a very, it's a possibility. At the moment, one of my customers actually takes my product out. And so we're already
outside the status of the country, or outside where?
in the airspace. So in the airspace, yes, they cater and they promote it in the air. So it's taken out of the country. As a business owner, I do see that as in the foreseeable future, me, taking our indigenous, now it will be taking indigenous and staple crops that we have the advantage here in Nigeria and in Jos to grow, and then selling it out to the world. So that would be a next step in the future. My skill as a lawyer has helped me in negotiating with some of my customers. I have customers that I've had to sign off-taker agreements with. I have customers, and because I'm a lawyer by training, I can go into the fine lines and say, okay, I don't want this, I don't want this. You need to put this here. This has to cover my back. So that has helped me. On the practical side, when I was in secondary school, I didn't know what I was doing, but I used to take care of the piggery in school, and I volunteered to do that. And I took care of the pigs in my school. And I was also the labor prefect and, into agric. So I think all of that just molded me and fashioned me, even though I didn't know where I was going, but it was all part of the process. And yes, my husband is so supportive. He's my chief marketing officer, that's what I call it. So he's ready to hype my business anywhere. He has brokered many deals for me as my supporter, and then I'm the business owner. My children too, they love growing. In fact, in schools, they are called the agric resource person in their classrooms, because they keep telling, no, you do like this, you do this, you do this, you transplant, you're using agricultural terms and all. So they love being on the farm. We all love being on the farm. And we don't really miss the city life.
Advancing Nigeria farm produce to meet international standard is the ambition of Nature's Platter, in spite of the numerous challenges confronting the exportation of farm produce from the country. With the support of the family and her background as a lawyer, the business has been enjoying growth as well as meeting the yearnings of Nigerians. The Bank of Industry over the years have continued to provide interventions for the industries to thrive, and there is more where that came from. The interventions, which focuses on men, youths, women and persons with disability, will hopefully make meaningful contribution to the nation's socio-economic development. Are you an entrepreneur out there or know anyone in need of support to grow his or her business? Kindly visit any of the branches of the bank closest to you or log on to their website at boi.ng. You can also follow the bank on all social media platforms as displayed on your screen. And that's it on this week's edition of BoI Weekly. I'm Gloria Umezuke. Thanks for watching.